Welcome back to the CF Nevada YouTube channel. My name's Josh. This is my 1985 Peterbilt 362 Cabover, and we are still in the shop. Now, if you followed us from the last video, we got all our wheels back from the polisher, and they did an awesome job, and I think they look pretty sweet. Nice to see those wheels, original wheels, back on the truck, or they'll be back on the truck. Not there yet because we got them off. What are we doing today? We are getting ready to go ahead and finish changing out the airbags, putting those new ones on, and we got our shocks. We're gonna go ahead and get the new shocks put on. So we've already got a lot of this stuff stripped off, ready to go. It just needs to get bolted back on. This is what our plan is for the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with the shocks, and then I'm gonna move on to the airbags because I need to do a little painting. These have some spacers in them between the frame and the airbag. So I figured we need to work on the shocks first because the weather right now today is a little bit cold. So we can at least get the stuff stripped off and start cleaning them up and prepping those blocks to paint them. But if I can't get them done, if it doesn't warm up today, then maybe tomorrow or the next day, sometime this week, I can preheat them in another room and get them painted. But it was snowing yesterday, so and raining this morning, so it's still a little bit too cold in the shop, but we will go ahead and get that done this week. By the end of the week, it's supposed to be in the 70s, so sometime I'll get the painting part done. But in the meantime, we have a lot of other stuff to do. We got to pull off this fifth wheel plate, these deck plates, our fenders, and still got a lot of sanding and cleaning up to do to get this paint on the frame. So we're gonna go ahead and get after getting these shocks put on, and we'll start there. All right, so the top of the shock mount looks like a 15/16 bolt there, and then we got a 1 1/16 down below. So all I gotta do is take those two bolts out, and then this shock will pop off. We can drop it down and then get the bushings on the new one and slide it right in. So it's very simple, at least that's what I hope. Go ahead and get these done. All right, so go ahead and see if this impact will take it off. Rusty bolt. It's just spinning the shock. I think I'm gonna have to grab a clamp to put on that thing. It's stuck. Be right back. Try an oil filter clamp. See if that'll get it. Never thought I would need to do that. But, all right, now I just need to get the bottom on. 16. Where did I put that? Bottom one, I gotta use a breaker bar, get this thing loosened up. I can use the ratchet. All right, it's coming off nice and easy now. Right. So this should push down, be able to come out. Yep. Perfect. Oh gosh. It is super rusty. And this bushing looks like it's seen better days. I'm gonna take both bushes out of there. I need to go get a screwdriver. Get that off. It's stuck on there pretty good. There we go. All right. So you got two bushings to go in there. One on the top. Let's go ahead and brush that off. We'll clean that up and grab the next one. Our new shock to go in. All right, so we got our new shock set up. Go ahead and put it on. Man, already, new shock. Looks a lot better than the old shock. Now just imagine all of this stuff painted down here and it'll look nice and fresh and clean. So little by little, but go ahead and I'm gonna get this bolted on and tighten that up, and then we'll swap out this one and keep on going. All right, so that wasn't so bad. Just 2 nuts and a washer on each of those and new bushings. Slapped them right on with the new ones. I did clean it up a little bit, and I ended up painting areas that, so I don't have to pull the shocks back off. I end up painting around them where they connect on there, and on top here, just in this little bit, and the slot that they go in. So I don't have to do that later. I can leave those on now and not worry about that not being covered with fresh paint. I did clean it all up and get it all done, so then I just got to paint around them when I go to paint everything. So got the back done. We'll go ahead and we'll move to the next axle up and take the other 2 off, swap those, and then these 4 rear shocks will have been done, and we'll just have the front shocks to do. But for now, I'm just focusing on the rear. So we'll get the shocks, and then we'll move on to the airbags and see how far we get. We are getting water for our field today, so I might have to stop a little early and go start watering, but we'll get as much done today, move on, get more done tomorrow, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll have this frame painted, because it's supposed to be 70s by the end of the week, which will be nice. Perfect painting weather. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'll get those done, and then move on to the airbags. Well, before I move on to those shocks, I did want to do this yet, but I think I'm gonna have to take the 5th wheel plate off. Since I'm already going to take this off, I think I'm just gonna take it off now, because those shocks are right in there, and it'd be a heck of a lot easier to take this, or take those out, take the airbags out, do everything else with this thing off. So, yeah, just gonna have to bite the bullet and do it now. Thought I was gonna be able to do a bunch of other things before I had to do that, but doesn't look like it. So we're gonna go ahead and start working on this before we get to the shocks. Thank you for helping me.
I don't think I have a choice.
Well, the kids aren't here, so I need a hand. You got the wrenches? Maybe. Well, that was a pain in the butt. The fifth wheel plate, the bracket and everything on the frame, the way it attaches, we have so much stuff underneath here with the axle and airlines and electrical cables and stuff that realistically it was really hard to get in there, try to reach around and try to take it off. So have my wife come over for a little bit. She thoroughly enjoyed that, and got lucky that she has to go get the kids from school now. So she had to leave, but I got all the bolts out. The last two were a little bit harder, so we had to get the 1-inch impact out and busted those ones right off. So yeah, now I just got to disconnect the airline and we'll be able to lift this off. I'm gonna take the ramps and put those on a cart somewhere or pallet, and then we'll paint those later. And then I'll take the forklift and I'll use our little forky here and get this thing lifted off, and then hopefully get that on a pallet, and we'll be able to wheel that outside, clean it up the rest of the way, because it still has some pretty good amount of grease all packed up in here. And I was gonna go ahead and try and get the Hotsy out and clean that off, or wire wheel everything, and then we'll get a fresh coat of paint on that. So go ahead and we'll get this airline disconnected and move some things around and get this lifted off. So I thought I was going to come in from the side and then just pick it right off, but looking at it, I think it's just going to be easier to slide it back and then come in with the forks, pick it right up, and then put it on my cart. So we'll see if this works. All right, so I was right. There is quite a bit of corrosion underneath this fifth wheel plate that I don't know if it was originally a red or an orange. Oh, still settling. Or it's just rust. I don't know. But the plate's coming off. We'll clean all this up, and then yeah, there's a good amount right there. It's coming off. So I'm happy I'm doing it, but it's a pain in the butt to get all this stuff stripped off of here. So the back side here, I think I'm still gonna go with the plan of we're just gonna pull it back a little bit more. It was really tight, which I can tell why, because I had a pretty good little chunk there that was gluing it to the frame. So we'll go ahead and we'll finish pulling this back, and then I should be able to get the fork right under it and pick it up. So we'll try that next. Oh, so plate's off now. Now we can really see, get inside, because that was in the way. But you can see there's plenty of corrosion but it's all surface corrosion. You know, the frame is still pretty thick, and that's just all surface. But we're gonna clean all this off. We'll get it stripped down. We'll get the primer on, we'll get some paint on, and should last a long time. But the bigger reason why I wanted to pull that off, corrosion one, but two, to get access. So now we can get in here, get these shocks out, a heck of a lot easier. Plus, it can be a lot easier to paint without that on there. We'll pull the deck plates off too, and get my fenders off. And this is gonna be a real treat to put back on here. So, probably when we go to put it back on, we will bring it in from the side so that I can just lay it straight down. I don't wanna drag it on the frame after we paint it. But yeah, a lot more stripping and cleaning to do. But the airbags here, man, that's so much easier to get to. Just the two bolts on top. There's no cross member in my way, like the back. That's a pain in the butt. Yeah, and these ones too. There's not too much in the way, so I can get to those bolts as well. So that makes it a little bit easier. And yeah, we'll keep on going. Or let's see, clean up a little bit of the mess there, and we'll get these deck plates off. But now I can clean this fifth wheel plate and get the ramps all dialed in and ready for paint as well. So it's a lot of work, but totally worth it than trying to fight all that stuff being on there. It's not fun. It's not fun trying to take it off either. So let's go ahead and get the deck plates off now and keep going. Starting to strip her down, and it's looking pretty good. The under the deck plates, not too bad. Not much corrosion there, so this should be easy to clean up. I'm gonna take these fenders off still, and then gotta get this airline electrical brace off. Yeah, but I'm thinking now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish swapping out my shocks, put the new ones on, get those airbags swapped out, get that all put back together. We're gonna throw the inside wheels on the outsides, so I can roll this outside, start it up and drive it outside. And then we'll be able to wash the whole frame down and clean this up, pressure wash it, because there's a lot of dirt and grime that's I've never been able to see under there, because these deck plates and stuff are hiding it. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll strip this all down, clean it up, wash it outside, and then that'll be a lot better than trying to keep it all in here. So I'll put the wheels back on here. Once I get the back end all put back together, we're gonna go ahead and we'll take this outside as well with the ramps, clean those up. But yeah, she's coming along. And for everybody that's come this far in the video, thank you. I think I gotta stop today because now I gotta go stink it back over and water another, or start irrigating another field. Irrigated ours last night and only got a couple hours of sleep. Hammered out this today. So we're cooking this week. Should be able to, depending on how light, I'm going to be up all night irrigating, so see how much I can get done tomorrow on little sleep again, but should be able to at least get these shocks done tomorrow and start swapping out the airbags. That shouldn't take too long, maybe just a few hours to get all that stuff finished up. So and then we can start stripping all this stuff. But yeah, whew, a lot of work. So it's looking good though. I'm happy. But we'll stop here. Thanks for tuning in, and we will keep putting out these videos, trying to get this done, hopefully stripped, primed, and painted maybe by the end of the week, because it's supposed to be pretty warm. So thanks for following along. If you haven't done so, please like and subscribe to the CF Nevada YouTube channel, and we'll get some more Cabover action here on the next one. Thanks, guys.